Hi guys, it's WhiteElo here. As everybody in the chess world knows, the Chess World Championship 2018 is underway. Actually, at the moment of this recording, two games have been played, both ending in a draw. But today I'd like to make a video analyzing the first game, which was very exciting and very dramatic, which is not something we expect from the first games of the World Championship, because, players tend to be cautious and to generally test each other. But we will see what happened here, and let's start with the game. So Fabiano Caruana was playing the white pieces, and he opened with 1e4, which was kind of expected since this is his main move. But although in 2018 he has been playing quite a lot 1d4 and scored some brilliant wins with the Catalan. But okay, in the first game he sticks to his main weapon. And Magnus played 1c5, the Sicilian, which was very surprising since in all his World Championship matches he has been playing 1e5 as the main move. I'm sorry, my cat wants to go out. Yeah, so because he has been playing 1e5 virtually in every black game, with the exception of the first game of the 2013 match against Anand, when he played the 1c6, which he would later didn't repeat. But okay, he clearly wanted to catch Caruana off the guard, and as we will see, he succeeded. So knight f3, knight c6, bishop b5, the Sveshnikov Sicilian. That's the Rosolimo variation of the Sicilian, avoiding the Sveshnikov. g6, bishop takes c6, d takes c6. b takes c6 was, let's say, also it's a main line today, but d takes c6 is slightly older, but as Carlsen has demonstrated, pretty viable continuation. d3, bishop g7, h3, preventing some bishop g4 ideas, taking g4 square under control. Peter Svidor actually said this is the most precise move order, but to be completely honest, I'm not quite sure why, but okay, if 2700 players says that, then it must be true. So h3, knight f6, knight c3, and now immediate knight d7, preparing e5, and some knight maneuver, knight f8, knight d6. Okay, there are too many arrows. So knight f8, knight d6, and knight d4. That's the general idea of black in this structure, in this opening. Actually, these two players played the very same variation once in the game Magnus won. I'm not sure where. I think it was Sinquefield Cup some 2-3 years ago, but not completely sure. In that game Magnus played b6. Okay, here he decides to deviate. He played knight d7, white castled, e5, bishop e3, and now here b6. Very, very sensible move, defending the b6 pawn and preparing the maneuver here. Actually, this move was very rare, which is kind of surprising to me since it's logical. And this is where Carlsen deviated from the main continuation, Queen e7, which was actually played by the greatest of all times, Garry Kasparov. But okay, Carlsen has his own opinion, and this move also had practical value because it seemed to surprise Caruana, who was spending a lot of time here. He decided to go knight h2 and prepare f4 push. Knight f8, Carlsen continues with the idea. f4, because if white doesn't play, then knight e6 will come, and he will never achieve this in decent circumstances. E takes f4, rook takes f4, and now bishop e6. This is very, very nice move by Magnus. Almost everybody was expecting knight e6, rook f2, knight d4, but now after queen d2 and with the idea of the bishop exchange on h6, it is debatable how big winning chances black can create. So bishop e6 is both strong, counterintuitive, and ambitious, because black prepares to move the queen, to expand on the king side, and to castle king side. Rook f2, h6, d2, g5. Another nice move, retaining the flexibility of the knight, just gaining some space, and yeah, not disclosing his plans yet, retaining the flexibility and the position while making a useful kingside expansion. Rook a f1, queen d6, developing the queen, preparing kingside castling, and now knight g4. This may be the imprecision that caused Caruana's problems. it's very hard. The commentators have been struggling to suggest a good idea for white here until Sofiko Guramishvili suggested a4. The idea is to just to push something on the queen side to create some counter chances. So let's say after knight d7 a5, black can probably castle short, but this is not as ideal as the setup he achieved in the game. So that would be an achievement for white. But yeah, okay, Caruana played knight g4, and here Carlsen just castled long, and he has very decent position, very dream setup sort of, especially after. So he just needs to activate the knight, and then he can start pushing on the king side. Caruana played knight f6, knight d7, knight h5. Exchanging the knights wouldn't be that advisable since black has two bishops, and he can once again start pushing on the king side. Bishop to e5, and now g4. Now, obviously, these moves are not made willingly, and this is the suggestion there is something wrong in white's position. f6, a great idea, preparing bishop f7, targeting the h5 pawn. b3, bishop f7, queen d1, and now Carlsen played very imaginative and very, well, practically very good move, although its objective evaluation is debatable. He played knight f8, sacrificing the f6 pawn. Everybody was anticipating something like bishop takes, g takes, and then playing from here, but yeah, he decided to sharpen the play even further with knight f8. Caruana obviously took the challenge and took on f6, and now Carlsen continued with the idea of maneuvering the knight to f4. Knight h5 was played by Caruana, but here he had very decent resource. He had knight d7, exploiting the fact that this bishop on f7 is under x-ray of the rook. So probably black would have to play something like this, or something like bishop f4, but after knight f6, h5, okay. Black has the initiative, but maybe that was the better option, who knows. Because after knight h5, bishop take, g take, and now knight f4. Okay, still, there was one, as we will see, after taking on f4, g takes f4, here Caruana played rook g2. But if he played rook f4, it's not very clear what the evaluation is after bishop takes, queen takes, rook takes. It is very debatable whether black has winning chances in this endgame, because white's pawn structure is pretty compact, and these double pawns don't help also, and the h6 is weak, and if white manages to win h6, then even with the knight against the rook, it will be impossible to win. So yeah, I'm kind of surprised Caruana didn't play this, but what can you do? So rook g2 was played, and now rook hg8, queen e2, rook takes g2, queen takes g2, queen e6. This is all more or less forced. Knight f2, rook g8, knight g4, queen e8 targeting the h5 pawn, queen f3, queen takes h5, and now black has the very primitive idea of queen g5 followed by h5. So Caruana played king f2, bishop c7, moving the bishop out of the knight's way, and now king e2, which is probably the losing move. e5, uncovering the attack on c6 pawn, was probably more resilient, but yeah, Caruana was already in serious time trouble. I think he was playing on increment at this very point, and yeah, he just wanted to play it something not committal like e5, I assume, although this should have lost, objectively speaking. Queen g5, threatening h5, knight h2, also something weird, but okay, aiming for the defensive construction with rook f1, rook f2 and knight f1. But now h5. This is very surprising. Even Peter Svidor called this move weird and slow, because everybody, even the commentators, suggested that something like queen e5, eyeing the b2 square and trying to exploit the weaknesses on the queen side was, while also retaining the threat of rook g3, was just crushing. And had Magnus played that, I'm not sure Caruana would hold. It's hard to even to suggest a move for white, but yeah, probably in the tension tension. It's hard to say why Magnus didn't play it, but I guess that just proves how difficult chess can be and how huge the tension is in these matches. So h5, rook f2, queen g1, which is also probably another step in the wrong direction. Okay, it's probably queen e5 was still better, but what can you do? Knight f1, h4, which seems logical, prepares rook g3, but it has a very nice refutation, sort of. Caruana played king d2, but here e5 was an excellent resource, and it's hard to suggest what you do as black here, because if you play king b7 then white takes, and of course if you take here then he takes here. Yeah, sure, engine suggests some rook g5 and then, but okay, it's very hard to say whether black has any advantage here or how serious his advantage is. So, but okay, good luck finding e5 when you're on increment. It's easy for me to do so with the engine in my room. Okay, so king d2, king b7, preventing all e5 tricks, defending the c6 pawn, c3, and now the critical moment of the entire first game, bishop e5. I'm very surprised Carlsen didn't play very natural looking and intuitive rook g3, because after knight takes, h takes, king to d2, queen to b1 or a1, he would just start collecting all these pawns, and yeah, okay, probably he feared it's not so clear how to prevent the advance of this pawn all the way up the board immediately, and he probably thought there's no need to rush things, but yeah, objectively speaking this should be winning, and the engine gives it a green light. But yeah, okay, so he played bishop e5, targeting the c3 pawn, king c2, queen g7. It's hard to say what was better. The engines say b5 is still winning, but it's not clear to me or to other commentators. I have watched their analysis why this is such a good move. So he played queen g7, knight h2, he took on c3, he played bishop d4 here, and he played king a6. He couldn't go way back here in order to put the king in front of this a pawn, which will become dangerous, because white giant takes, gives check here, and plays knight g4. There's no time for rook g3 anymore, and if anyone can win this position, it is now suddenly white. So that's why Carlsen chose to go to on a6, but after the queen exchange, okay, he has some slight pushing chances here, but objectively speaking, I think the endgame should be drawn. And very quickly, it resolved to a drawn endgame. So I will keep the commentary from this moment on very brief. So rook e2 was played, rook g3, knight g4, taking on h3, e5, rook f3, e6, rook f8, e7, rook e8, h6, h3, rook e5, knight e5, bishop f6, a3, b5, b4, c4, a b4, bishop e7, knight e7, h2, rook a2, rook takes e7. Okay, so virtually by force this endgame was drawn. It was reached, which is basically drawn, and there was nothing I can think of what black could have done to avoid it. And okay, the players continued to play this position, to shuffle the position for the remaining like 50 moves or so, but there was basically nothing happening, so I would not seriously analyze it, because I don't simply it will turn into a very long video, although it is highly probably recommended to to try and play, because I'm sure many of us would have lost this with white, but okay, Caruana is too good to allow himself to do so. And the commentary of Alexander Grishchuk was very entertaining, because he said this game was 4 hours of fun and 3 hours of boredom. But okay, what can you do? The only interesting moment is this one, because here it seems that that black has made progress, but here actually with the rook on a7 eyeing this pawn, white can play king b2, and now if black tries to play something like rook a4, then queen king c3 defends both pawns, and he has to give up the a pawn, after which once again the game is just clearly drawn, and there was nothing happening for the remaining 10 moves or so, and in this position finally the players agreed to a draw. So yeah, that was this game 1, which was kind of shocking. It's hard to evaluate who was the winner here. I think Caruana might have felt as a real winner here after saving this position. But okay, on the other hand, Carlsen displayed fantastic chess up to move 35. He clearly outplayed Caruana, but I'm not sure what are the psychological consequences of this move because of this game. Because in the match against Karyakin, he got frustrated after spending several promising chances, and that cost him. In the end, he played too recklessly and lost, and I guess we will see what will happen in the future. So yeah, at the moment of speaking, the second game was also drawn, and yeah, tomorrow is a rest day, so we will. I hope we analyze the second game tomorrow, and that's all for now. Thank you for watching this video. Stay tuned for more info. See you soon. Goodbye.